The philosophy of Sankhya has a practice associated with it, which is called yoga. Is this clear? So the philosophy of Christianity has a practice also. There's certain practices you do in Christianity. You go to church, you take some symbolic bread and wine and such. It's a ritual. The practice of Hinduism, right? How do you practice Hinduism? It's a ritual.
Yes.
There's no actual practice in Hinduism which makes you a better Hindu. You're a Hindu. You're born into it. You become a Hindu. You don't need to earn it. You're just a Hindu as it is. Same thing with most religions. It's about belief. It's about doing some rituals. So what makes yoga special is that there's not only a theory and a ritual in yoga, there's actually a practice which enhances your ability to practice or to understand even the theory. And the basis for this is very important. It's called karma. Karma means you get what you do.
Yes, it's like, like animal killing is not karma.
Yeah.
Wherein a man having an intention to kill somebody with hatred is
Right.
karma.
That's karma. So the whole point of karma is when you do stuff, you have some idea of why you're doing it, of what you want from that action. So we do something to get something in return. So this will accumulate these little intentions or impressions in a storehouse, in a kind of karma bank account. So we have this karma bank account. Every time you do something with an intention to get something back, that intention is stored in a bank account, in your personal bank account, and it never goes away. Even if you die, again, you'll be born and you'll have to get that karma. Now that could be a good karma or a bad karma. The other part of this is when you do something to someone, it depends on the effect on that person as well. So if you do something to someone and they don't like it, or it causes a big negative effect with them, then you also get that karma. You get that energy. So if you put some energy out towards someone, depending on how you channel that energy towards them, that energy is going to be stored in a bank account. And that's going to come back to you in the same way. That's the theory of karma. When does that karma come back to you? But eventually that stuff comes back to you. It depends on how intense it is. It depends on the situation. It depends where you're living. So that's karma theory. Whatever you do has an effect on you. The action will have an equal reaction. Time is the only thing which divides that. So we live in a time-based society. Time is here. When this action is done at a certain time, depending on what kind of action it is, depending on what your motivation is, it'll come back to you within a matter of time. That could be 1,000 years, it could be 100 years, it could be 1 minute. You do not decide that. We cannot decide that. There are books written about that. What is clear is that the more you're engaged in life, society, like you're not living in a cave, or you're not running away from in the ashram, the more you're living life, the more your karmas will be exhausted. So the idea of yoga is that we don't want a bank account. Because when you have a karma bank account, then it forces you to be born again to get that karma. To get that, even if it's good or bad. So in yoga, we want to do things without any intention, without any desire to receive the benefit. Okay? So there's two concepts here as far as yoga. One is expectation. You expect some result. One is motivation. You do it for some reason. So when that happens, when something happens, it never goes how we planned it, right? We do something to someone and we make a plan, we engage in a plan, It doesn't go how we want it to go, right? Rarely does it go how we want it to go. So when that happens, we get frustrated. That frustration again turns into karma.